Hello everyone, welcome to Film Summarized. Today, we are going to recap a horror thriller movie released in 2025 titled The Gorge. So grab your popcorn and sit tight. The film begins with Drasa, a Lithuanian covert operative, on a sniper mission. Positioned on a cliff, she prepares to eliminate a Russian oligarch. Before firing, she carves a small mark into the rock wall, a ritual to record her kills. Her target is on an Airbus over 2 kilometers away. Adjusting her scope for wind and distance, she takes the shot, hitting the oligarch in the head. She collects the spent shell casing, placing it in a pouch, and departs. The scene establishes Drasa's precision and emotional detachment as she shows no remorse. The scene shifts to Levi, a former U.S. Marine sniper, waking in his apartment from a PTSD-induced nightmare. Unable to sleep, he walks to a beach at dawn, carrying a notebook to write poetry. He struggles, unable to find words, and discards his attempts. A text message summons him to Marine headquarters. There, he meets Commander Bartholomew, who reviews his file, noting his combat skills but lack of family or purpose. She offers him a year-long, top-secret mission. Levi, feeling aimless, accepts without details. On the other hand, Drasa visits her father, Ericus, in a graveyard near her mother's grave. She hands him the empty casing as if handing her guilt over to him. He is dying of cancer and reveals he will end his life on February 14th, Valentine's Day. Drasa begs him to reconsider, but he insists, asking her to live for him. Before leaving, she informs his father that she has got a new assignment at the Gorge, a classified location. She accepts, knowing she may not see her father again. Levi is sedated, flown to an undisclosed location, and parachuted into a jungle. He navigates to the Gorge, a vast canyon with 2 watchtowers, one at east and the other at west. At the West Tower, he meets J.D., his predecessor, a Royal Marine. J.D. explains Levi's role: guard the gorge, shoot anything that emerges, and maintain cloaking antennas that hide the site. These cloaking devices send false signals to any nearby satellites, which makes the gorge invisible to everyone. He mentions hollow men, creatures in the gorge from whom they need to save the world, and a failsafe called Straydog, activated by sirens when all the cloaking antennas fail, requiring immediate evacuation. He adds that the government had tried to clean the place and eliminate the creatures, and had sent 3 battalions of soldiers on horseback in the 1940s, but none of them returned. Levi notices quotes carved on the tower walls by past guardians. As J.D. boards a helicopter for extraction, his own men shoot him dead, signaling no one leaves the gorge alive. Levi settles into his isolated routine, monitoring the gorge, maintaining equipment, and reading wall quotes for solace. One day, through his binoculars, he spots Drasa in the East Tower. At night, Levi is woken up by a nightmare and immediately reaches for his rifle, but, upon seeing no one, he calms down. This tells us that he is still traumatized. That day, he notices Drasa sitting quietly at night, and when she understands that he is spying on her, she goes to sleep. Next day, unable to handle the boredom, she fires a shot to catch his attention and asks for his name. But Levi replies that they are not supposed to communicate, to which she replies that it's her birthday, and she will do as she pleases, and introduces herself as Drasa, and Levi gives her his name. They celebrate her birthday together. She asks him to dance, but he denies that he is not good at dancing, but very good at shooting. They playfully shoot at each other's drinks, but their happy moment is interrupted by the arrival of human-like monsters who are called hollow men. A fearsome battle follows where the duo try to subdue the monsters using their weapons, but it seems that it is not enough. Just then the monsters trigger the mines, and the explosion kills a lot of the hollow men. This is followed by automatic machine guns spraying bullets at them, and finally they get subdued. Next day, when Levi is refilling the ammunition, a drone ascends from the gorge, and this comes as a shock to the duo. It flies away, and the duo continue with their routine. They play chess by communicating their moves via writing, and she plays makeshift drums for entertainment. The month of February arrives, and on February 14th, she misses her dad, as it is his last day on Earth. On that day, Drasa skips her routine check, mourning her father's death. Late that night, she writes, "It's been a hard day. I wish somehow you could be here with me." She wishes that Levi was beside her at this point of time. After giving it some thought, Levi decides to break protocol. He builds a makeshift auto-climber from ropes and pulleys, crossing the gorge with wildflowers from the jungle. At her tower, Drasa greets him. She prepares rabbit pie, and they share a bottle of wine from her cellar. Over dinner, Drasa discusses her father's courage. Levi shares his loneliness. They toast, "To those we've lost." Drasa plays pop song on a record player, and they dance slowly, her head on his shoulder. The moment becomes intimate, and they spend the night together, finding comfort. Levi reveals he's writing a poem for her, but doesn't share it yet. The next morning, Levi ziplines back to his tower. A hollow man triggers a mine, and a piece of shrapnel cuts his cable, making him fall down. He parachutes into the gorge, landing in a tree. Drasa, watching the situation from above, does not waste a moment and parachutes after him. She lands in a river, and the current takes her away. She emerges to face 3 hollow men, fighting them with her rifle and knife, sustaining scratches. On the other hand, Levi is tangled in a tree upside down, is nearly eaten by a giant insect with human-like features. Drasa shoots it in the nick of time, freeing him. They flee, pursued by more hollow men and spider-like creatures with skull-like bodies. Together, they use gunfire and grenades to escape. They enter an abandoned church and see that the dead men's skeletons have the smell of cyanide in their hands, indicating that they took their own life before getting harmed by those creatures. Seeking shelter, they find a ruined laboratory in the gorge. A film reel was found which reveals scientists in the 1940s developing biochemical weapons in the gorge. An earthquake caused a virus leak, mutating humans into hollow men who were contained in the gorge. The tape mentions Darklake, a private military company, and Project Straydog, a nuclear failsafe to destroy the gorge if cloaking device fails. Levi and Drasa realize they work for Darklake, not their governments, and the gorge is a cover for super soldier experiments. Upon exiting the facility, Drasa gets caught by a mutated hollow man who drags her while riding on a mutated horse. Levi tries to rescue her, but being on foot, he is no match for the hollow man. He manages to locate the missile, but the cloaking device is on, which means that in order to activate the Straydog protocol and use the missile to destroy the gorge, he needs to destroy the cloaking devices. After some time, we see that Drasa is injured and is tied to a pole while the monster stands close to her. But just as he tries to harm her, she comes to her senses and fights back. She manages to untie herself and gives a good fight, but the monster turns out to be stronger. In the critical moment, Levi arrives and shoots it in the head, ending the fight. Then, they go to the base of the research lab and see a few abandoned jeeps. They use a jeep and a rope to make the climb, but were followed by the monsters who don't seem to give up. But using their combat experience, they manage to escape their grasp and use gas from the jeep to burn the monsters. Upon reaching the top, they decide to quarantine themselves to ensure that they are not affected by the virus. They confess their love for each other and go back to their respective towers. At the top, drones capture their activities and transmit the images of the duo to the Darklake headquarters. During a radio check-in, Bartholomew, revealed as a Darklake operative, orders Levi to speak the truth about their incident at the gorge. He lies, claiming he had not gone into the gorge, and he also denies about having any contact with Drasa. Bartholomew orders him to kill Drasa. Levi agrees to do it, but she sees through his lies and sends a team to eliminate them. Next day, Levi and Drasa were on their usual rounds, but seeing a helicopter approach, both of them decide to flee. They destroy the cloaking antennas with explosives, exposing the gorge and triggering Straydog. They were chased by killer drones, and at a point of time the duo found themselves cornered. But being seasoned fighters, they managed to shoot down the drones and run as far away as possible. As the missile strikes, Bartholomew and her crew die due to the explosion. But Drasa survives, and Levi manages to jump off a cliff into a river just in the nick of time. While in quarantine, Drasa finds a letter from Levi which states, "If I don't make it, open at sunset." After 5 days, when her quarantine ends, she searches for Levi, but he is nowhere to be found, and hence she reads the letter and is thrilled to read the poem he wrote for her. Months later, Drasa works at a cafe. One day, while serving customers, she sees Levi at a table, scarred but alive, asking to eat the same rabbit pie. They embrace, overwhelmed, and decide to live together, leaving the gorge's horrors behind them. This is how the movie ends. If you like this recap, please like the video and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Thank you for watching. See you in the next recap.